What is going on, guys? It's your boy Az. We are back here. We are going to be doing the Blade Tower Omega preparation here in anticipation for the next set of floors. Again, you can review it in-game already, either in-game or through the website. So, of course, as well, we always try to do this before the next set of floors hit. And, of course, as well, oh, I just said that like twice. Wow. Hopefully this helps you guys out here. Now, do keep in mind that there is a great website here. I'm going to link in the description. I use it quite a bit in quite a few of my videos. And of course, as well, it's a good way to kind of track the speeds. And that way you can help theory craft as well here. It's a lot easier to use it versus trying to jot things down. And at least before the website was a thing, I was trying to, basically do it on paper, right? And yeah, it is much easier to use MSF base to kind of calculate and figure things out here. But yeah, no, I still do things on paper. It's just a little easier to see it all together. And of course, as well, it's not perfect, but it does actually help out. And now it's tying in very nicely in with the turn meter beta update that the MSF or I guess Marvel Strike Force had this week as well here, that you can toggle it in your advanced settings and you can kind of see the character's turns going. I think there's a couple of glitches here and there, but for the most part, I feel like it does help. But yes, I shout out to these guys again here, MSF Base, for doing a lot of the heavy lifting on the speeds and all that other stuff. Also, keep in mind, with regards to this specific guide, I do have a heavy emphasis on the mutant side of things, right? I'm not going to be, at least from my perspective, I'm not going to be running Xavier. I did that with the first 6 cells as well without Xavier. And on this one, I will do my best here to try to keep Xavier out of this battle as well, because obviously you can slot him in anywhere and he's going to be able to demolish any of the particular cells here. But we will definitely keep him on the back burner here for you guys. And on top of that, we'll try to limit our Shadow Conclave / Omen teams as well here. If I do use any of the members, it will most likely be 1 or 2, and I will also assume that perhaps people should probably be start to build those up, because more and more we have seen now that no teams are basically skippable now. But like I said, I will have kind of a heavier emphasis on my mutants, because I'm a Spider-Man fanboy fan, number one. But right after Spider-Man is the X-Men, and of course as well a lot of new mutants, a lot of Exalted, all those newer teams. I've basically put resources into them because not only do the characters kind of resonate with me, but I also love their lore. And obviously, I'm very, very stoked about the Savage Land team that was announced as well here. Don't forget to vote Bobby Drake. Bobby Drake, guys. Bobby Drake. Anyways, so let's get started here. Cell number 7. This one looks like, it looks interesting. Yeah, it looks interesting for sure because it's got like an Asgardian lineup. And of course, as well, you got Hela in there, which can be problematic because she can summon Greg. And then you've also got, a little bit of some synergy there with the Black Order as well. So very interesting to see here. But I think what we will say here is for sure, if you run this on the MSF base and you look at the speeds and the turn meters, you'll realize right away that Sylvie and Loki, they get their speed bar filled up just because of the fact that they have some passives, right? So they're going to take the first couple turns here, and then what you can do is you can piece together a team that can hopefully take turns after, so that you can kind of mitigate some blows here. We know that Loki always starts with a special, so he's gonna cause some allies to attack somebody, and then of course as well, Sylvie's gonna use that massive ult that she always does open with, right? So these are 2 opening moves that are gonna do some quite impactful damage, and I think right off the get-go, you want to make sure you also worry about the other 2 afterwards. Malekith and Hela are shortly after. Malekith is a speed of 127. So he is actually, if you weren't including passives here, he's actually the fastest character on this board. So having characters above 127 will guarantee your speed over him. And then shortly after Malekith is Hela. And again, remember, Greg is also on the board. So if you kill off Greg, you're gonna lose some of your turn meter as well. So just keep that in mind. But we will stick with a galactic council team here. We've basically spawning with defense up, immunity, and safeguard, so that's going to help mitigate damage from Sylvie. And of course as well, we've got Hulk in here. He's basically just a meat shield for us, because when Loki does the special, it's going to go to the taunter, and he's probably going to be instantly killed, especially because he's not leveled, and that's fine. That's fine. I think we should be able to handle it with just the other 4. We can get Spider-Man here to start stripping things off. He's also a speed of 128, so he's going to go faster than the Malekith. So he's going to be able to apply the slow. He's going to do the defense down. And then from that point on, even before Spider-Man takes a turn, we've got protection as well from the Galactic Council, from the defense up, and the safeguard. So I feel like in my, on paper at least, this should be a fairly straightforward team. And hopefully we don't need to throw any extra additional teams here to make this work. Or we may have to, sift around, move the other rooms around, and see what works and what doesn't work. But that's just, that's theory on paper. Last time when we ran the first 6 cells, we did actually have to end up moving our Fantastic Four around to a better room because the Fantastic Four is the Fantastic Four, right? So anyways, that's cell number 7 there. Sorry about the rebuttals. Moving on to 8. This is also an interesting one here because we're taking advantage of the fact that we're going to be going up our former arena meta team here of the Horsemen, and they've also actually got some other characters as well linked in there. So that's also very interesting to see. So we will have to we'll have to see if that changes anything there. I will definitely for sure be on the lookout to see if maybe there's some reworks on the horizon here, right? We've already seen reworks. And potentially it could be Rogue, right, with the vote and stuff. So maybe perhaps Red Hulk may get some love here. But anyways, getting off topic here. So cell number 8, we're going to get Red Hulk going because he is the fastest on the board with a speed of 133. And then we've also got Rogue and Apocalypse shortly after that. The other 3 don't really matter because they're pretty slow. But not, there's still a lot of synergy here. So we do still got to be careful. And I'm thinking as long as we can absorb that Red Hulk's his initial attack, and then we can kind of figure out what we want to do with Rogue. And I feel like this will be the team that I use here. We're going to have our own Apocalypse to basically counter the other one, and hopefully we can get the first punch off first. But I'm hoping to put Apocalypse beside, we're going to put him beside Cannonball, so that when Cannonball gets targeted by Red Hulk, he's going to be able to trigger maybe Apocalypse. And then Apocalypse can basically do his ult, apply the trauma, and punch. Now, hopefully, in theory, that works. Keep in mind as well here, if Rogue or Gambit do go stealth because they are on the board, we're also going to get a massive speed boost from the new mutants. So this will also help our team out here. And again, Speedball should spawn with Deflect as per his passive. So he should be able to absorb some of the blows from Red Hulk as well. And hopefully he doesn't get killed here because he is kind of weaker. And then the other 3 members will hopefully take their turns here. If like I said, on paper, I think this is going to be an okay team, but we'll see how it goes. And of course, if we can get Eclipse is faster than Rogue. She should actually be able to apply the silence actually on a lot of those key members there. So we'll see how that goes here. But like I said, on paper, I think this is an okay team, but we'll have to see how it goes afterwards. Cell number 9 is also another one that's back to the mutants. So it looks like we're going to be facing off against our former Cosmic Crucible. It used to be a Cosmic Crucible team here involving Jubilee. And of course, as well, we got the reworked Wolverine, Exalted, and of course with Morph. So basically a mutant team here. And what's important to note here is Morph is going to be the fastest one here. He's on point with a speed of 134. And then right after that is actually Wolverine, which is funny. It is a bit of a slower team. So as long as you can absorb that initial attack from Morph first, then you just got to make sure all the other characters have a speed of greater than 117. And there is quite a large pool of characters that we can take advantage of for that. So I think what we're going to do here is we're going to use our Scourge. Again, trying to limit to only 1 or 2 members of Omen / Shadow Conclave. You don't necessarily need to have Executioner here. I just have him because his speed's 130, so he's actually going to go first. Right after, basically, I think he's basically going to go right after Morph, right? And he should actually hit Bishop. And when he hits Bishop, he's going to take the taunt off of Bishop because Bishop spawns with a taunt, right? And that should hopefully take the taunt off, and then we can go in with Rachel. Rachel and Havoc are faster than all the other characters. Havoc's gonna stun, Rachel's gonna spread. We're gonna call this the infinite stun combo from these guys again, mass stunning, and hopefully that can cancel out some of these guys here, and then we can kind of get some turn meters and stuff going on here. I gotta figure out who the other 2 I want to put with. I'm not 100% sure yet. We'll see how it goes here. We've got a couple characters that are way faster than 117, so definitely we got some options. I'm hoping to figure that out once we figure out the first 2 nodes and see if there's any additional adjustments, but that's kind of the strategy right now on paper. Cell 10 is probably, in my opinion, the hardest node here because we've got lots of speed from these guys: the synergy, the speed bar fill, the on spawn vulture. If there's a hero, he's gonna get speed bar. He's gonna apply the slow. He's got the rewind. Doc Ock can summon. Green Goblin can rewind. There's a lot going on here, guys. And of course, as well, I feel like if you have Professor Xavier, he's going to prevent that speed up. He's going to prevent the speed bar. He's going to do it all. And he's going to crush these guys fairly easy. I'm hoping we don't need to use Xavier. That's what I'm hoping for. But obviously, we'll have to see how it is on paper when it does go live. What I'm thinking here is Vulture and Hobgoblin. Those are the newest characters, and of course Scorpion is, but he's not that great. But we have to be careful of Scorpion, and we have to be careful of Vulture. They're probably most likely going to take their first turn because of their passives. And what's important, I think, is we're going to need to use our best and biggest team here. That's going to be our Fantastic Four. We can't use our symbiotes because we need them for the node that has the Mephisto. So we have to use our Fantastic Four here. And again, trying to limit to only 1 or 2 members of Omen / Shadow Conclave. So I feel like overall, Emma Frost will give a nice speed, mitigation to help give our Fantastic Four some speed as well back. And hopefully, fingers crossed here, Surfer Breaker can mitigate some of the damage. And if Emma Frost is not a good play here, maybe perhaps we can slot in maybe another Taunter, or we can maybe bring in, for example, like Minerva, so she can do the revive and some heals. So we'll have to see how that works when we do see it go live. But I feel like on paper this should be a fairly good team here. Yeah, Fantastic Four is always fantastic. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see how it goes here. So 11, not too shabby in my opinion. You don't want to use Fantastic Four in this room because Emma Frost does cancel that speed manipulation. And yeah, we already know Quasar, Blastar, and Emma Frost. Those are probably going to be the most. I guess, I could probably circle Shadow King as well here. Problematic characters there are those 3, and we got to be careful of them. And then on top of that, they also have Sasquatch, who spawns with the taunt. So that could also make things a little bit, little tricky here. But I'm thinking we bring in Morph and Angel, so that way we get the mass taunt. So yeah, we also got to be careful of Sasquatch because of that taunt that he brings. So this is why. Like I said, this would be a good team here, and we also have mass amounts of speed here thanks to Storm and Morph being 2 of the fastest characters that we can use in this tower. And yeah, we've got some options here. We can bring in maybe our newly leveled up Jeff the Land Shark, or we can also bring in one of the Emma Frosts if we're not using them, just for that ability block. And of course as well the targeting characters to attack each other. So yeah, lots of options here, but I'm thinking the 3-piece for sure, and we'll have to see what the other ones fill in are. And then last and finally, 12 is the one where I've already alluded to. I think this will probably be most likely the easiest section because we do have our Symbiote 6 built up. Of course as well, Daemon and Mephisto are an issue, so you need speed to counter speed. The Symbiote 6 will counter Daemon's speed boost from the Brimstones, thanks to Living Mummy's passive. And of course as well, Mephisto gets that 666 speed, the 666. So that's all going to get canceled out with our Symbiote 6. Shouldn't be an issue, and should be fairly straightforward. So hopefully that makes sense for you guys. Yeah, let me know. Sorry, apologies. The video ran longer than I want to, but hopefully it makes sense, and hopefully it's clear as mud now. And yeah, good luck with the preparation. Good luck with the runs here. Make sure you get your first 6 floors done as well. If you don't, I guess it doesn't really matter because you can still work on it. But nonetheless, the reset happens on Friday, and we should hopefully be able to start planning for the next set of floors once we get these ones down. Other than that, you guys know I'll keep you posted here with the footage and all that other stuff. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.